People have sold the Taj Mahal, even the Eiffel Tower. But those were amateur hour. In 1995, a man in Nigeria did the impossible. He sold an entire international airport. The most shocking part? The airport didn't exist. It was a phantom. Meet Emmanuel Nude, the mastermind who sold a patch of dirt yet into a top Brazilian banker. And this is Nelson Sakaguchi, a director at a major Brazilian bank. He had one fatal weakness: greed. Nude spun a lie. We are building a top-secret airport in Abuja, and a $10 million commission is yours. Sakaguchi demanded to see the site, so Nude took him to a completely desolate, empty field. Standing there, he pointed at thin air. The runway goes here, the control tower there. And Sakaguchi believed it all. The deal was set. But there was a catch, Nude said. The central bank requires a processing fee. We need $10 million immediately. Sakaguchi signed the check without hesitation. He truly believed he was buying a gold mine. To prove it was real, Nude introduced him to other central bank officials. But they were just actors in cheap suits. In fact, it was all Nude. One day he was the governor, the next the director. He was playing the entire government by himself. From 1995 to 1998, money flowed from Brazil to Nigeria like a river. Not one transaction, but hundreds. Sakaguchi buried the fraud deep within the bank's books. Whenever asked, he claimed, "It's a top-secret investment." The numbers kept climbing. 10 million, 50 million, 100 million. In 3 years, Nude drained a total of $242 million. Adjusted for inflation today, that's nearly $500 million. But lies have an expiration date. In 1997, a Spanish banking giant, Santander, decided to buy the Brazilian bank. They sent in their auditors. These weren't friends. They were financial detectives looking for every single penny. They opened the ledgers and asked one simple question. Where is this $242 million? Sakaguchi panicked. He stammered, It's in Nigeria. We are building a new airport there." The auditors didn't believe him. They picked up the phone and called the Nigerian government directly. The answer came back cold. "What airport? There is no new airport in Abuja. You have been scammed." In a single second, the illusion shattered. Sakaguchi realizing he had bought nothing but thin air. But where was Emmanuel Nude? He was already gone, ghosting the bank with $250 million. The Nigerian government was under massive pressure. They created a special task force, the EFCC, to hunt down the airport seller. They tracked Nude down, but he didn't run. Instead, he tried to do what he did best: buy them off. He offered the head of the commission $75,000 in cash. He thought everyone had a price. But for the first time, the money didn't work. The officer refused the bribe and slapped the handcuffs on him. The trial was pure chaos. Nude had powerful friends. Witnesses were kidnapped. Bomb threats were called into the courthouse. His lawyers argued that the crime happened years ago, and technically, no one forced the bank to buy the airport. He dragged the case on for years. Delays, adjournments, fake illnesses. He tried every trick in the book to stay out of prison. But in 2005, the hammer finally dropped. The court sentenced Nude to 25 years in prison. It sounded like justice was served. Finally, the government seized everything. Luxury cars, mansions, and millions in cash. It was the biggest asset seizure in Nigerian history. And what about Sakaguchi? The man who bought the fake airport? He lost his job, his reputation, and spent time in a Swiss prison. But here is the twist. Nude didn't stay in prison forever. He was released in 2006, after serving just a few years. Did he learn his lesson? No. Years later, he was arrested again. for a violent land dispute and a murder case. Emmanuel Nwood remains a legend in the underworld. The man who proved that if the lie is big enough, people will believe anything. So the next time someone offers you a secret deal to buy an airport or a bridge or the moon, maybe ask to see the receipt first. This is Goblin Finance. We track the dirty money so you don't have to. Subscribe before we steal your like button.